So this one's gonna be just, I think, quite quick. Quick is just quick. It's just still somehow relative. Episode me talking about some things that are in my fucking mind. And I see you after the intro. It's just always amazing to record after you have not recorded for one entire fucking day, I guess. And I do not even have to record something today, besides the whole fact that, I would have had the time the whole week. What the fuck? Don't know if you can see this, but there's a gymnastics mat, or whatever you're calling it. I don't fucking know, a yoga mat, where you do just yoga on and whatsoever. So that's, you have just a soft, kind of floor or something. I don't fucking know. It just moved, and the sound, it was just really fucking crazy. But yeah, it's always quite something different if you just, haven't recorded for a day. Because first of all, I'm not used to speaking English in such a manner. I don't speak English in my free time. I only write it and read it and listen to it, but I don't quite talk it. And it's just still something quite different, at least in my point of view. But yeah, the thing is, which, in the beginning bothered me a little bit, was that I actually had the time to produce 2 videos a day the whole week long. The thing why I didn't do it, or the reason why I didn't do it, is because my girlfriend's gonna just be in Ireland for 6 weeks, and therefore I've just tried to just spend as much time as I could with her, which I think I also managed to do. Which is great for me, which is just really fucking great for me, because everything worked well. I've even had days where I just haven't recorded anything because I just pre-produced everything, which was also great, and which is actually also the case for today. So actually, I do not have to produce something for today. So today is Friday. I might not be uploading this on Friday. I might just be uploading this on Saturday. Is it Saturday? Yeah, it's Saturday. On Saturday. But I honestly have to say, have I missed it? I don't actually know, but I'm just really happy to be here and just talk about certain things that were just happening this week, or that were just going on this week, or, maybe some things that I've learned, or I don't know what I'm actually going to talk about in this one. So, no. Well, by the way, I could just move it back there and use this one, which is also fine. But, so yeah, practically it would have been nice to actually have 2 videos a day the whole week long, but I do just honestly have to say, all the time when I'm producing 2 videos on a weekend, it's still a lot to do, especially, during the week or during just really high demanding school times, where I do just also have to learn, and where I do just also have to do other stuff. And I also should be a little bit more patient. This is something that I also have to remind myself on way fucking more, because it is just the case that I should not cripple myself or get crippled by what I'm doing here. Because, thinking about it popping in the next 5 years is totally something that thinking about it as it popping in the next 6 months. It's going to be just quite a different stress level if you think about it. Okay, I really want to have my 1 million subscribers in 6 months. Besides the fact of it, actually being possible or not, you really have to work a fucking load. And when I think about it as, okay, in 5 years I'm gonna have 1 million, then it's something different. It really is something different. It's more like, okay, I'm just doing it now because it is fun for me, and I do not have to stress myself out, because I know it's gonna take some time, and I know it's gonna be fine. And I know, 5 years, this 5 times 365 days. It's a fucking load. I don't really have to stress myself out to actually produce this one fucking episode, just as quick as possible. There are also other things in my life, which is, I think, maybe great, because some people, as I just consider myself, I guess, I like to have multiple things to do. So I think I wouldn't like to only just do the videos. I would just also like to do the posts. And I do not only want to do just the social media thing, I also just want to work out. I also want to just, do a little sport, because this is also a passion of mine. It's always been actually. My mother told me that when I was a little kid, and well, actually a baby, to be honest, I've always been playing with balls, or with a ball. I always played football or soccer, actually. It always depends on your region, I guess. I actually prefer soccer because, football for me is just football, like the NFL and something like this. And, well, it's not soccer. But I don't know. Like, I think it's just a debate that's quite really unnecessary. Some people say this, some people say that. I don't want to judge them. Some people judge them, actually, and some people are really pissed by that, which I do not understand. I don't know, like, okay, there are just really, really way worse things to kind of complain about or to kind of judge, rather than these things. But yeah, just I like doing multiple things, and I really honestly think that if you just like to do multiple things, you should also be doing this. I often see, just especially on Instagram, or just, I think Instagram, but also I guess on social media, kind of generally. It always depends on whom you're following and whatsoever. But I always see people saying like, okay, you should just only focus on one thing, and make this fucking great and whatsoever. But just some people don't like this way. Just some people do not want to do it just this way. Is it actually when I'm just wondering which screen it actually is. No fucking mind. So I don't know. I think if you really want to, you should actually kind of do everything that you want, even though it's just not one thing, it's not two things, maybe it's just 4 fucking things. I don't know, like, I think, if this is going to make you happy, then you should definitely do it. And I think happiness and actually well-being and being healthy and whatever should definitely be kind of, maybe a little higher, I'm missing the word. Fuck. People should want it more, I guess. At least at my point of view. So I think just a lot of people just go for, I don't know, money. They go for cars. They go for girls. They go for just fancy shit. They go for shiny shit. And I don't know, like, for sure, okay, cars are cool. They look cool and whatsoever. And you might look cool to others. But, just it won't make you happy. At least not just for long periods of time. For sure, of course, for example, when I'm buying myself just really great shit and I get admired, or I got just, compliments from somebody else because, okay, something like, okay, your code is cool. This is actually, by the way, if you've been looking and or watching and or actually listening to more than this one episode, it's actually the case that I always bring up this exact same example for actually praising somebody or actually giving compliments. I always tell people to actually admit or say to people, okay, you have a great coat, or your shoes are just really fucking great. And I, by the way, think that we should praise way more, and we should give way more compliments. It just makes a great day, just it gives you a great day, or it provides you a great day. The person who is just actually praising or is actually giving the compliment, and the person, of course, who received the compliment is also just feeling great because of it. Of course, like, if some stranger, especially some stranger, if he or she comes up to you and tells you like, okay, you're looking very fresh today, of course you're gonna feel good. I at least assume, like, I would feel good, I guess. But yeah. Something else that I discovered this week was actually a podcast episode with Seth Godin and Tim Ferriss. So I'm listening to quite a lot of podcasts, I guess. So actually, instead of listening to music, I normally listen to podcasts. It actually is what I like. It might not be for everyone, because I know that there are certain people who just really love music, and they couldn't just somehow live without music. And I do get this. And, if you're such a person, of course you should be listening to music. I do not want you to just be unhappy because just for the sake of knowledge, or just for the sake of, some people say podcasts are better than music because of the knowledge, because of the wisdom you get, because of the people you surround yourself with. Well, yeah. Another thing is, if people complain, then I don't have the time to learn things. I do not have the time to do this and that. Okay, maybe you should just actually try podcasts, because there are just a lot of fucking topics, a lot of fucking people are talking about as podcast versions. And a good thing about this is, and which is actually also kind of the reason why Gary Vee, for example, says that this is going to be the future, is that we all can listen to podcasts everywhere. Like, I don't know if you hear this fucking sound, but this is actually some air refreshing kinda machine. Well, it just spits out some smelly stuff. It just spits out some smells. Yeah. But it is actually the case. Like, I can listen to podcasts every fucking where, and it is great, because when I'm sitting in a train and especially when I go around somewhere, I'm not really actually able to kind of read a book or something, or to watch a video. And just listening to some podcasts is just a great way to get knowledge and to get certain information that you're willing to have, or to just get entertained. I really do not want to be just on this certain kind of path of, it's about knowledge, it's about only kind of getting things into your head all the fucking time. There has to be leisure. Why not? There has to be, I think, just some time where you can shut down, where you can just maybe do dumb stuff, even though it might be just a kind of expression, or it might be just something, I think a lot of people do not like, but I guess that just has to be leisure. On the other hand, I also do just have to say, you should definitely monitor how much time you spend on things that, are kind of useless or something. And something that I often actually think about is, for me, and this is something that I might be doing in the future, because I've seen, it would make sense, is actually structuring everything and planning everything. I know just there might be a lot of people that have actually been talking about this before, but I guess if I would actually kind of plan my whole day, or the whole day, I would be able, I think, to regenerate a little bit better, because sometimes, when I'm just recording something, or when I'm just working on something, sometimes I then just, go on YouTube, because, and then I see a video, and then I watch it, and then I watch another one, or whatever, and this just gets a very, very long kind of just thing. And I do just have to stop this. And the thing is that I'm then feeling bad, because I just could have been way faster with the actual thing that I initially wanted to do than in the now, or as I then was, actually, or somehow, I don't know. And it would actually make sense to be like, I'm going to work on this particular thing for 2 hours or 3 hours, and then I do just give myself 1 hour to watch YouTube videos. Or I'm just, working the whole day long, which might not be the best approach, I guess, but you're just doing something the whole day long, and then you're giving yourself 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours to, just have a little leisure, to just watch a few YouTube videos, to just, have leisure, and to just enjoy yourself, and then whatsoever. What I do not want to say is that work should be something that you do not enjoy. Of course, you should fucking enjoy it. And this is actually something that I've been talking about way too often, maybe. Well, I think there's no too often for something like this, but I guess it is just very important to just know that you're doing something that you're actually passionate about and that you like, I guess. Because at least at my point of view, you're then able to just really be a very good person and or a very good character in this certain space. And if you're doing something that you actually do not like, and it is actually something that's not quite a passion of yours, then you won't be just working as hard as someone who is actually passionate about this and who is actually loving this certain thing, and you're automatically gonna be just not just the top player in this certain space. And if you're liking it, it's just something completely different. which is great, which is enormously great. And I'm just always thinking about whether this episode is going to be a good episode or it's going to be a bad episode. Because I'm just sitting here just talking about things without actually anything going on. Should I play some videos? Should I play some music? Maybe there's going to be music in the podcast actually. Even though I sometimes think like it could be great to just have some background music throughout the whole episode actually. But on the other hand, I do think like, it's not that great actually, because it somehow or could somewhat disturb from what I'm saying, which is bad because, I for sure just want you to listen to what I'm saying, and also when I'm listening to podcasts and there is some background music and I get distracted, I get pissed off because I'm getting distracted and it's not great. But yeah, maybe you should just pop open a small little James Clear article, I guess. This would be great, Actually, maybe actually and only because I do just have the window there, and is that? No. Just a second, please. And it's just so much fun to actually go through this right now. Well, the question that I'm having to ask myself is why this is not working. Could you please work? Would be great. Thank you. Well, I did this, and now I do that, and now it is here and everything is fine. By the way, I hope that it is not too small. And there actually you can see all the categories there are on the jamesclear.com website. Let's take something different this time. I thought about the reading list. Maybe decision making. By the way, decision making is something that I really fucking struggle with. I don't know actually why. I'm just trying to find a pretty quick article. No, that's a little bit too long, I guess. Well, they all are just pretty long. But you can see there by just me going through, there are just a lot of great articles on a lot of great topics. And yeah, 5 lessons on being wrong. Sounds actually pretty great. Let's actually read the headline. Maybe this could give some value to you without actually me just just wasting too much time, because I don't have so much time. But I was really tempted to actually make an episode. I was really willing to record something. And I'm really fucking feeling so enormously great just sitting here recording this fucking episode and trying to just push something out of the world or out into the world that's, providing some value to somebody and also entertainment. And something that, for example, Gary was talking about is that the combination of information and or value, well, not value, but information and knowledge plus entertainment is just the best you can have. Because if there is just some fun going on, I might be editing this in a funny way. I could do this. This could actually make the episode a little bit better with actually some kind of stock shit. Or I'm recording something. Could actually also do this. Well, I think I'm gonna do this, but I'm still gonna read the headlines. So 5 lessons on being wrong. First, the first choice versus optimal choice. Finding the right person to marry, choosing your career, starting a business. Well, I'm gonna read the starting the business thing. It is unlikely that your first business idea will be your best one. It probably won't even be a good one. This is the reality of entrepreneurship. My first business idea lost 1.4k. #winning. Finding the right person to marry. Think of the first person you dated. Would this person have been the best choice for your life partner? Well, I honestly do have to say, when I'm designing something, often it is the case that I'm actually going back to the first ever idea that I had. Because sometimes it's actually even the best idea. 5 lessons on being wrong. Choices that seem poor in hindsight are an indication of growth, not self-worth or intelligence. Well, I guess so. If you do have just been making some choices or have been considering some choices, which is, I guess, what he's talking about there. If he's not talking about this, I'm sorry, but it might just give you something else. If you're just making bad decisions, or if you've been making just bad choices up to this point, it's for sure not about being intelligent, I think. It's really about growth. Okay, you've understood, okay, this would have not been a great thing to do. And I've done so much shit. Well, I've been a really asshole just back in the days, I guess. Even though it was I've really been not the best person all the time, something that I know, but I've never ever just on purpose just did something bad to actually kind of let somebody feel bad because I don't like this. At least not just, very, very, very seriously. Sometimes I'm doing this and then I really feel sorry for this person. I talk to the person, actually only did it once, I think, or twice. Something that I just do not want to do, something that I do just really dislike, do not really want to have in my life and really want to have in my legacy as well. Like my legacy should be all about just being happiness, bringing happiness to the people, just being the best person that I actually can be and having an impact and positive impact on the people that are in touch with me, on the people that are around me. Yeah, this should be on my gravestone. Well, yeah. Given that your first choice is likely to be wrong, the best thing you can do is get started. Actually, the truth. Because, who knows? You're always going to develop, you're always going to grow. The first one's always going to be shit. Quite often it's going to be shit. Sometimes it's actually quite good, but we all grow, we all get the experiences, and we all just, learn, I guess. Third one is break down topics that are too big to master into small tasks that can be mastered. The fourth is the time to trust your gut is when you have the knowledge or experiences to back it up. Well, I think then it is actually about, I can read it. You can trust yourself to make sharp decisions in areas where you already have proven expertise. For everything else, the only way to discover what works is to adopt a philosophy of experimentation. Experimentation, what the fuck. Actually, the truth, I guess. For me, actually, it is often the case that I'm acting out of instinct, especially when it is all about sports. When it's all about ball sports like soccer, handball, basketball, everything. I'm really working by instincts. I'm not thinking. I'm just doing. I think also something that I've been thinking about whether I should actually try to make a living by just doing sports. Might not be the best thing because, okay, you could only do it just up to 30, 50, 40 or something, and then you're just too old. If you want to make money, if it's about, okay, you just liking it and you're just in good conditions and everything as well, of course, you can do it up to 40 and 50, I guess. In terms of soccer, you then just go to China or you then just go to South America or something, and then you can play there. Or Korea, and so some Asian countries, or in general Asian countries, are just, I think pretty well known to get old players, but old just legends actually. But yeah, the last one is the fact that failure will happen is not an excuse for expecting to fail. There is no reason to be depressed or give up simply because you will make a few wrong choices. Even more crucial, you must try your best every time because it is the effort and the practice that drives the learning process. They are essential, even if you fail. Realize that no single choice is destined to fail, but what occasional failure is, the cost of you have to pay if you want to be right. Expect to win and play like it from the outset. Your first choice is rarely the optimal choice. Make it now. Stop judging yourself and start growing. Stop judging yourself is actually a good point. We should definitely not judge ourselves, because why? Why would we fucking judge ourselves? I believe that we sometimes do it just because. Yeah, and there's actually a really great point. I'm reading this and then I'm ending the episode, so I wish you the best health, wealth, happiness, and success. And yeah, I also hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you're gonna be remembered, basically just your legacy. Because you have it in your hands, it is in your control how you're going to be remembered, either as a good person or as a bad person or something in between. But the footnotes, which is actually, I think, good. I believe that this is also one of the reasons why history repeats itself. There are many situations that simply have to be experienced to be understood. Even if you read the opinion of every expert in the field, the only way to make progress is your own life is to experiment. Of course, not all experiments go to plan, and as a result, the same mistakes are made over and over again as each person goes through the process of finding their own way. And with that being said, because I just have to pack my things, I'm gonna hit the train. I see you the next time, hopefully, and I love you. And thank you very much for listening and or watching, and I'm so fucking pumped to be here again fucking tomorrow. I see you.